If you're a career military officer and you found this video, then I know you are a little bit upset with the lack of information that you're getting based on your unique situation, because for a lot of obvious reasons, there aren't a whole lot of you. And so most of the retirement guidance and the military transition guidance, the job hunting, the financial advice, the insurance, the VA disability, it's meant for the vast majority going through this process. And your situation is very different. Your income is a lot different. You're a little bit older. Your time in service is a lot different. Your specialties, when you're thinking about what you want to do with your talent in post military life, is a lot different. More specifically, your financial situation is a lot different. And also, your medical situation is a lot different than you might realize. Because when we address those things more realistically with a new framework that addresses your unique situation as one of the, if we're being more specific, about 1% of the retiring military population are retiring at these high ranks in high income or high net worth situations, either immediately at retirement or sometime within the next 5, 10 years after retirement. And when you're in a high net worth or a high income situation, typically we're looking for some sort of a different financial strategy. And that's what we want to do in this situation for you, is address the survivor benefit plan with this framework in mind. Because if the health and medical is addressed with the cost benefit in mind, we discover we're actually trying to answer a couple of different questions in your particular situation and for others as well. But because of the amount of money and the low probabilities, what we think is available to you is an opportunity to increase your odds of a positive outcome. And to look at that more closely, let me pull up my whiteboard and show you how we typically look at this versus what we can do now instead. What we want to do in this video is give you the tools to quickly reframe this survivor benefit plan decision so that you and your spouse, again, can figure out what are our next steps to confidently and competently know that you're doing the right thing for you based on your current health, your current age, your current timeline, your assets, your resources, your income, and really what kind of access you want to have to what's available to you, what you've earned from doing your service in the military. When we're talking about the SBP decision, we know that before military retirement date, we've got to decide yes or no. And that decision, what is that decision about? What we find out is now there's a cost involved. And may or may not have known about this when you decided to do a career in the military, when you heard about, hey, if I served for so long, at some point there, when I retire, I will get a pension. But maybe you weren't married when you made that decision. Who knows? But when you find out that in order to get the benefit, there is a cost involved, or essentially a pre-deduction of your pension amount. Your one-time decision is what exactly happens on that timeline, and is there some flexibility in that decision? And the good news is that, yes, you have some flexibility. At the end of this video, you're going to see that there's a better way to reframe this whole thing anyways, because what we actually need to look at is not just the cost versus benefit, because that's obvious. That's the thing we do know. We can easily calculate that. So while we're being cautious and figure out, hey, how's it going to work for me? We'll show you how do we see whether or not the 6.5% cost is enough value or is worth paying for a 55% benefit. Is that enough value when we know the survivor benefit is that really the plan is that there's only a benefit when there's a survivor? Our approach is, what if we look at this differently? We know the costs, we know the benefit. What we don't know is the outcome. We also don't know the probability. And if we essentially are making a 30-year decision, wouldn't it make more sense to approach this from figuring out, all right, what is the probability? What are the odds over those 30 years of my family having a positive outcome, regardless of who's dead or alive? Because with the survivor benefit plan decision, that's it. We only know one scenario offers this to you, your family. In most cases, regardless of the situation or the outcome, there is no option for any sort of legacy or any real flexibility or return on investment if you don't die during those 30 years. You've already figured out most aspects of that. You probably picked up a couple of new tidbits or different ways to think about that by watching this video. And so, what we're here to do is say, hey, again, I've been working with folks for 15 years solving this exact problem. How do I calculate the probability? What are the various outcomes? Ask yourself, ask your friends and other folks you're working with around this problem. Hey, what do you know about the innovations in the life insurance industry and how it applies to high income earners and high net worth situations or future situations that you want to better prepare for when the kind of typical long term traditional financial and retirement planning got you good to where you are, but we need to do some more planning for this retirement, your military retirement, where you're still on a timeline where you can increase those odds of positive outcomes, meaning we think the probability of you dying early in those 30 years is most likely low. And the last thing I'll leave you with is what changes all this? How do you get more benefit from your time in service? And where the more obvious way to look at it is, okay, what is my pension worth? And that is a very important aspect of increasing the probability of those better odds. But where one of the myths, or in some cases a mistake, as we're coming out of the military and basically going through any aspect of the medical process during active duty, retirement, we're told to put as much stuff on our medical records as possible to look unhealthy as possible to get better VA ratings. And in many cases, that's extremely helpful. And thank goodness those benefits are there. But sometimes mistakes are made in the sense that there's assumptions that the VA rating assumes that you have poor health because life insurance companies are looking at your health. They're not looking at your medical. Medical is based on checklists. You have to go through a process versus in personal assessment, a private assessment allows you to more benefit and increase your wealth based on your health. The good news is on the private marketplace, you have options to strategize not only how you design any sort of funding or financial strategy associated with the survivor benefit plan or any sort of alternative that you might want to put in place. And we'll talk about the private pension strategy in another video and how that is the best offensive, defensive, and contingency approach, all packaged in one strategy that complements you for not only your time and service to maximize the entire value of your pension, the entire value of the survivor benefit plan, should a catastrophic or highly unlikely worst case scenario occur. But most importantly, significantly increase the odds of you getting a positive return on investment while you're still living for any sort of outcome, ensuring that you can leave a legacy, and all while increasing the amount of income that you're earning and saving and preparing for your decisions on where you want to go in post-military life in this rapidly changing economy. But we know that given your current timeline, solving the survivor benefit plan is the biggest financial impact that we can have for you right now as we try to capture your current positive health scenario. And don't worry, if you are concerned about something that is more chronic in your health situation, we know how to address those scenarios. And we will always do our best to work on your behalf to give you the best option to find a financially positive return on investment and give you the best options for declining the survivor benefit plan if that is what you would ultimately like to do. And the good news is, if for whatever reason there are not better options available, then we want you to confidently know that the survivor benefit plan is going to be the best option for you because of an inability to qualify for something better. We're here to work with you on that side. Watch our other videos, ask as many questions as possible inside our members area. And we look forward to talking with you inside a group call or on a one-on-one consultation. Thanks for watching. Thanks again for watching this video. If you'd like to see more lessons such as this and a number of articles on topics around survivor benefit plan, thrift savings plan, I'd like to invite you to our new military retirement blueprint. You can get access in the link below, and we'll see you inside the new portal.